The term abstract itself means that it just exists as a thought or an idea in your mind, and it does not have any physical structure or a concrete form to it. So, in art, when you're representing anything abstractly, it means that you're just trying to get away from realism and trying to put your thoughts or ideas onto the canvas or onto the paper using just colors, shapes, or even the textures. So this is what we are going to try to attempt today. If you're here for the first time, I'm Modula, the artist behind Modula Creations. Let's get started. I'll start with a basic drawing of the figure, just the placement of it so that I know where the figure comes and where the background lies. We'll start with the figure first. Randomly, I'm going to use yellows. So these yellows are lemon yellow, cad yellow and yellow ochre. And for the below of the dress, I'm going to use purples, blues and pink. It's just a random combination of colors, and the thing to note is they complement each other so very well. So I want a darker color at the bottom and a light color at the top, and that's why I have chosen to use these colors today. So I'm going to work very abstractly on the dress and in the background, keeping her face, hands and the portrait related areas as workable and realistic. The other areas I am going to keep it very abstract. I'm using a palette knife to make out and bring out the textures. As you already know, I love palette knife textures. If you want more texture to whatever work you are doing, just add the molding paste to your paint and work. I am just using this tube paints, and I have not added any other mediums for this. For the background, I am using a combination of browns and white together. When you're doing abstract work, it might take more time than what you expect. So the thing that you have to remember is to not to look at the clock, because most of the times we get past our dedicated painting hours. So don't look at the clock, just work from your intuition. Even these colors, I've selected it out of my intuition. And a complete abstraction will not have any subject. Sometimes artists use emotions as their subjects. In its perfect state, abstract art has no subject at all. It is a combination of shapes, colors, lines, and no particular order. You can also extend it to have textures, forms, value, like how we are doing it here. The very fun part about doing your abstract art is it does not have any hard and fast rules. You make rules for yourself. That's the beauty of it. But of course, you need to definitely know about composition, color theory, the contrast elements. Whether you are working as a traditional artist or as an abstract artist, without knowing the base or the fundamentals, it is very hard to practice any of the art forms, as you will not know how to proceed, or you'll get stuck in the middle and you will not know what to do with your artwork. So it's always good to know your basics and fundamentals before you practice any type of art. After working with the palette knife, now for the hands, face, everywhere, I'm just going to use a brush, because that's a very small area. It's very easy to use a brush, and I don't want it to be too abstract there. So let's go ahead to use a brush. We'll have a bun at her head, and I'm just using browns for her hair. You need to be very careful when you are combining a figure with an abstract background. You should not miss your figure elements also. So just make sure you have a high contrast between the background and the foreground figure. When you are looking at any abstract art, just ensure that you are not looking for meaning, because when you are looking for meaning, so many times you will end up in frustration. Some people do get frustrated seeing abstract art as they may lack to give any meaning to them. And meaning here is completely subjective, and it is up to the artist on what emotions they have painted, on what environment they have painted, what they are trying to represent through the art. Everything is very subjective and depends on the artist themselves. If you're just beginning out with acrylics, I have done another acrylic abstract tree which you can check out. I will link it in the description box below and also in the card above. Since we have a very thick layer of there in the dress, the textures will be so high. So when you're painting on top of it with a brush, it will be little bit trickier. But if the below paint is completely dry, then the process is little bit easy. So always allow the layers to dry between works and between layers, so that you can just go over it smoothly and easily. At the sides, I wanted to have more elements related to a girl figure, so I'm going to add a lot of flowers. Since will be a part of the background, I'm also going to do the flowers in a very abstract way. So it's a combination of white, purple, yellow, orange, all these flowers that contrast with each other very well, and at the blends with the background too. So that is why I have chosen those colors. Vasily Kandinsky is considered the father and the pioneer of abstract art. He believed that these geometric forms, lines, shapes and colors that an artist uses expresses the inner life of an artist. That's very, very true, because the colors that I am choosing here are just out of my intuitions, and if you are doing the same painting, you might have your own set of colors and it will differ according to your mood. So one day if you pick up these colors, the other day you might be picking up a completely different set of colors. So just accept it and go along with the flow and intuition. Now let me add some flowers to her hands. This actually gives you a harmonious look, because the flower colors used at the background, or which is a part of the background, will have the same colors as in her flower. So in the overall picture, this will give a very harmonious look. And we will also add some flowers at her bun. So these elements, everything will give a more of a girl feeling to the entire painting. When you are doing abstract art, it will definitely improve your creativity and imagination, as it stimulates that particular part of your brain. For an artist, or when you are doing this kind of work, it frees our brain from painting reality. So instead of viewing outward to the paint and focusing on the external things, you will start to focus inward. So it is the best way to explore your own emotional states. So definitely try out an abstract painting. What do you think about this painting? Do let me know in the comments below. I will personally answer each one of you. Also let me know your thoughts on abstract paintings. Do you think it is easy, or is it something very hard to master? Just let me know. This is the finished piece of art. If you like what you saw, and if you got value from this video, do click on the like button and share it with your friends. Do subscribe, and let's stay in touch. Happy painting and have a great week.